Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Podcast, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Let's take a look at some stocks on the move today. Bloomberg News equities reporter Alexandra Semenova is here with Wednesday's Stock Movers. Okay, I want to start with Dollar Tree.
Yep. Tim, so a bright spot today amid all the decline. Shares closed up 3%, and this is after they announced that they're offloading Family Dollar for about $1 billion to Brigade Capital Management and McCallum Capital Management. I hope that I pronounced that correctly. This comes about a decade
I think it's
after
how I said it earlier,
yeah,
so you're good.
Was it Masalam?
I don't know.
But anyway, the deal is set to close next quarter. This comes about a decade after they bought this company for $9 billion.
I so remember when the two of them came together and everybody was like, this makes sense, like the two big players coming together, and yet here we are.
And for a while they really did want to become this big discount giant, but that hasn't really worked out for them. That business hasn't really been profitable, and actually this kind of upends that effort because the store count will be roughly halved after the transaction. But analysts really see this as a good thing given how long they've taken to find the right buyer for this. If you look at some of the Wall Street commentary, it's been really positive, even though there's a little bit of uncertainty about how this will play out in earnings at this point. Citi said that the sale is positive and makes, quote, a cleaner go-forward story for the stock. And then you have Truist also calling the sale a significant win, hence that move higher today, even as the broader market sold off.
All right, off to love my dogs, Chewy.
Yeah, one thing that can weather any potential downturn, any recession, is how much people love their pets. You saw that today in Chewy's earnings. Exactly, as you should be, their family members. Chewy reported some solid earnings today. The stock was down about 1% perhaps due to pressure in the broader market, but it did get a wave of analyst upgrades. It got raised at Mizuho, Barclays. Their top line figure grew 15% year over year to $3.25 billion. And they're basically at the stage where they've been spending a lot of money on things like marketing, a lot of investments. So those expenditures have kind of made it difficult to turn a profit, but we're actually seeing them start to grow their sales.
I got to say, it's where we order order our dog food and lots of stuff.
Yeah.
We ordered our cat food there until our cat died. And
sorry to hear that.
I will tell you, though, something about Chewy that's pretty cool.
What's that?
I called them and I said, hey, we just got this big shipment. The cat's gone.
They take it
Can
back.
I send it back to you or something like that? It was a huge thing. And they were like, donate it. Aww. We're going to refund you. Aww. And they sent this really nice card.
That's so
it was really sweet. Yeah.
That is super sweet.
I know. It was really sweet. That's the type of stuff it's you remember as a customer, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Right, or tell others.
That makes for a
it.
good business. I've actually heard some of my friends too have lost pets, and Chewy sent them little cards with their condolences, which is really wholesome.
It is really wholesome. It's a perfect way to describe it.
You know what's hot right now?
What?
Copper. Everybody's talking about copper.
Yeah, it did hit a record high yesterday. And this company, Freeport-McMoRan, it's a copper mining company. It did fall today after the Trump administration signaled that tariffs on copper could be coming in weeks rather than months. A little bit of uncertainty around those tariffs. But it did do well the last couple of sessions. The company shares have also outperformed the S&P 500 this year. They're up about 13% on the year.
Compared to a lot of names that have struggled this year, that's pretty significant.
Joe Doe. He's the guy to talk to.
The copper guy.
He's the copper guy to talk to.
He's the copper guy.
Yeah.
No, I feel like we're going to be keeping an eye on these names as more tariff information comes out. It's certainly something that's going to be front and center.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alex Semenova sends good tweets.
Oh, thank
you got to see her tweets. Last week, okay, I'm on the plane.
This is what I live for.
I'm on the plane, okay, and I'm just doing what I do on the plane. I'm scrolling through Instagram, and a friend of mine who doesn't know Alex, but she's a journalist, she had one of Alex's tweets in her Instagram story.
I'm honored.
Do you know what a big deal that is?
It is a big deal.
Do you know what tweet it was?
Which tweet was it?
Because you write so many good tweets.
Oh,
this was your tweet about what it's like to be a journalist, always feeling like you have homework.
Yes,
She's a journalist too, so she posted it. As yeah, everybody feels that.
Doesn't it always feel like we have homework due? You can never truly relax. There's always something that you have to read up, especially with all these, markets announcements.
I will tell you,
he goes home.
In broadcast,
you will go.
With a daily show, when the market's closed, our show's over.
Yeah.
I'm kind of done.
Yeah. good.
I think it's harder when you're like in print and like
you're
things
like,
are
I have to be pitching the next story. I have to impress my teacher, my editor.
You can always do more edits and stuff.
Yeah.
But when you're live, you're live.
Exactly.
You're stuck with us.
Yeah. We're kind of done until the next day until we've got a,
and then you have a fresh start the next day, but it's just as crazy.
Maybe it's just because it doesn't feel like work, Alex.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Because we're having so much fun
We're having
here.
so much fun. Every day is a holiday when you're doing what you love.
Some of us stick around and work kind of, a little bit later.
Some of us leave right at 5:01.
Well, I'm going to take inspiration from this and leave after this.
That's what I like to hear.
Do a tweet, put it out there, because it'll definitely get picked up.
Now the pressure is on.
It is.
The Stock Movers Podcast from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.